Hey guys, welcome to Books Are Sick. I am Nick, here with another desk video at my desk. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Today I'm going to be talking primarily about books, which is great because I love books so much, actually. So what I'm going to talk about is what I read in the month of August. It was a really great reading month. I'm excited to dive into that, but I'm also going to be talking about what I'm reading in the month of September. It looks like a slightly ambitious stack for me, but I've already finished one of these. I'm already almost finished another. It's not actually as intimidating as it might look, and I'm really excited about it. September is going to be a great month, but let's start with August. My brain is totally mush. I do appall, but let's get into it. The first book for August that I'll talk about is Psycho. This is by Robert Bloch, and this is I didn't realize that this was a book, actually. I thought that Psycho was just an Alfred Hitchcock movie that he wrote and then made, and then that was it. But it turns out most of Alfred Hitchcock's movies were based on books, so I don't really know why I thought that, but Psycho was so good. The movie is, it's a movie that I love. I only actually just recently saw it for the first time, but I loved it. And the book is just like the movie. The movie is very, very loyal to the book. So if you like the movie at all, you might like this. It's a quick read too. You're looking at like just over 200 pages, I think. Maybe not even 200. 180 pages, vintagey classic horror. If you like books like Rosemary's Baby, you're friggin' gonna love this. And I liked it quite a bit, honestly. It was I love old horror stories like this, specifically ones that fall in like the 50s and 60s. I feel like there's just a bit of a sweet spot there. It's just hits just right, you know? And this is no different. This cover is amazing too. You got this creepy shower hand here, and then if you take the dust jacket off, it's just got the shower stall with some splattery blood on it. Just the best. This is you probably can find this at most bookstores now. I think this just came out. So go look for it. Go read it if you're looking. It's a great, I would say if you are wanting to dive into horror for the month of October, but you don't typically like super scary stuff, this is perfect. Kind of more almost like detective-y, whodunit sort of story, but there are a few kind of like, oh wow. Huh. you know. Okay, next up, let's talk about The Talisman real quick. This is by Stephen King and Peter Straub. This is the weirdest book I've ever read in my life. It is so long. We're talking about 900 pages almost, are we at? No, almost 800 pages. And I liked it a lot, but I've said this before a few times. I'm sorry if I'm getting repetitive. Not a book I think I would recommend to new Stephen King fans, just because it is a lot more mystical, a lot more Dark Tower-ish. There's just a lot going on. For Stephen King, I usually recommend start with a book like Misery or Pet Sematary, Salem's Lot, Carrie, The Shining even. Maybe just something to kind of ease your way into the Stephen King world, because it gets nuts. And a few of his books, specifically Dark Tower, this one, which others? There's a lot. Things get crazy, The Stand. However, this is a story about a 12-year-old boy that is going to find a talisman, something called a talisman, that is going to help save his mom. His mom is dying. And we basically go through our world and we transfer through to this alternate universe, the territories, and there's a lot of side quests. That was probably my biggest gripe with this book, is that there's just a lot of side quests, I guess you'd call them, that happen that were really, really long and just way too long for me. I think this book probably could have been 400 or 500 pages easily, did not need to be 800. But if you like rambly Stephen King and you just like Stephen King, you're going to like it. So, that was that. Really good. I would say people have asked me, am I going to jump into The Black House, which is the follow-up to this one. My whole intention with reading The Talisman was that I wanted to be ready for when The Talisman 3 comes out, because Stephen King is working on that. He doesn't usually divulge what he's currently working on, but for some reason he decided to let people know, I'm working on a Talisman 3. So that was why I decided to read this. However, after reading this, I think I do need to take a little bit of a breather before getting into The Black House, so that I'm ready for The Talisman 3. So no, I won't be jumping into The Black House right away, but shortly. Next up, we've got Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi. My apologies. My allergies are brutal right now. I'm going to do that a few times. Yaa Gyasi, Homegoing. This is a book that if you just love beautiful writing, you should go pick this up immediately and read it. This is a multi-generational saga story where we are following two sisters from Ghana, And these are sisters that never meet each other. They never even realize the other person exists. And we are basically just following their family lines through years and years and years and years, because they both go in very different directions early on in their lives. And we basically just kind of see the fallout, I guess you'd call, of their family line and what happens as time goes by. And it's super fascinating. It's one of those books where, like, you know, every chapter you're with someone new. So it can be a little hard to like really sink your teeth into it, just for someone like me that likes to be with this, you know, the same character the whole way through. That said, a beautiful book, beautiful writing. Again, if you're just a big fan of writing, go get this immediately and give it a go. It's 295 pages ish. Beautiful, beautiful book. Okay, next up, we got Sandwich. This is by Catherine Newman. This is called Sandwich. And this is about a woman and her family going to this cottage that they go to every year. It's like their kind of like family thing that they do. She's in her 50s now, I believe. And we are basically just, it's basically just a very real look at family life and family interactions and family dynamics. And you know, hiding secrets from family, even though you don't really mean to, or not telling someone something, even though it's something you should have, but you just let time go by and then you didn't. It's just like, there's a lot of things in this that just felt very real to me. And I enjoyed it a lot. You know, this book, I posted a photo of this book on the internet. Quite a few people reached out and they were like, I really did not like this book. And I'm not going to say that I think I might know why that is the case, but I feel like I do. And for me, though, I loved it. I thought this was just a very, very true to form, real look at family life. And yeah, I would say, like, if I had to pull one negative out of it, maybe some of the dialogue between the younger daughter felt like a little off. But outside of that, I don't know. I loved it. And Catherine Newman is going to be an author that my buddies over on my book club are going to be doing an interview with. I won't be there, unfortunately. I'm going to be shooting a wedding, but they are going to be doing a book club interview with her over on the Books Are Sick book club page. So if you want to tune in for that, so excited to hear what she has to say. And apparently she's got a sequel, like a follow-up coming for this one too, which is really cool. Next up, we got James Baldwin's The Fire Next Time. This is James friggin' Baldwin is his writing. I've been gushing over this guy all year because Giovanni's Room is one of the best books I've ever read in my life. It's my favorite book of the year so far. And this is one of his nonfiction books. He is talking about racism in the United States of America. And there's actually two parts to this book. The other part is he's writing a letter to his nephew on the 100th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation. It's a really heavy book, but it's very blunt. It's almost kind of like funny, like very dry humor-ish in it. And it's James Baldwin's a genius, and this is super short. We're talking like 100 pages even. Definitely go read that. It's been a winter month, honestly. Next up, Kristin Hannah. This is the final one for August. Kristin Hannah's The Nightingale. I loved this book. I did not know what to expect from it. I didn't have the highest expectations. I think just because Kristin Hannah, this book is so popular. The Nightingale is so popular. And when that tends to happen, I tend to kind of feel like, I steer away. I'm just one of those people, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, it's popular. I'm just too pretentious. But I picked it up, I read it, and I loved it to death. I actually love this book so much. It's about two sisters during World War II, very different personalities, and we're basically just going through their journey during World War II. It's very heavy, very dark at times, very upsetting at times, as you might expect. But I thought the pacing of this book was perfect. One of the top 10 books in my reading career so far where I got the feeling of I can't stop reading this, but I don't want it to end, which is to me just a perfect book, which means you have perfect pacing. And that is what this is. The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah. Friggin' loved it. That is what I read in the month of August. Now, before I get into what I'm reading in the month of September, I'm very stoked on this stack here. Just want to quickly give a merch update, kind of a merch update for my American buddies who I know make up a lot of my merch sales. I've been put into this very strange position because I do pre-orders for all of my merch stuff. So I had 2 pre-orders in the last month and a half, primarily for hats and green spine breaker shirts and black Books Are Sick shirts. And so what happened was I had these pre-orders go live, and then while I was waiting for the stuff to come in to ship it, these new tariffs came in, and it's really thrown a wrench in my life, honestly, because I'm in this weird spot where I've already taken all of these orders. I don't have the stuff yet to ship, but during this stretch of time, these new tariffs have come in, which have, I'm Canadian for those that don't know. So shipping to the United States has suddenly become almost impossible for me because my margins are very, very small as it is on merch sales. So, you know, I try to make things as like affordable as possible, all things considered. But with these new tariffs, it's really, I don't know really how to like properly like be dramatic about it. It's just, it really sucks. So I'm trying to figure out what to do for my American buddies. I am, again, just in a really awkward spot because I've already purchased all the merch. So that's coming to me regardless of what happens. But, you know, if I ship everything out to Americans and just leave it as is, I'm going to be out thousands and thousands of dollars. And I just, I wish that I could cover that for everybody, but I unfortunately can't. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. I'm going to have a concrete update over all my social media channels on Tuesday. I'm just really sorry. I'm really sorry. It sucks, you know, because I want to get the stuff to you guys. And I know people are wondering where the stuff is, especially in the States. And so, unfortunately, that is what's going on. I'm just trying to see if I can try and find out a way to make this happen without having to refund every single American order I have, which is also going to be brutal because that's going to put me under significantly. So it's really a lose-lose, unfortunately, unless I can find a way through, which I'm still actively trying to do. So I will have a concrete update on Tuesday for you guys. Again, I'm just sorry, you know, it sucks. It's just bad timing. I don't believe these were supposed to be in place until next year. At least that's what the original announcement was. So this kind of hit me by surprise. And so, you know, if you've ever wanted to join my book club, it's $7 a month. I would really appreciate it. I'll have the link down below. It's sick. It's hosted on Patreon. There's a whole chat board on Discord that you get access to. And I'm just throwing that. I'm sorry. I hate doing this. Also, if you want to like and subscribe, you know, okay, let's move on. I apologize, but that's what's going on. Okay, so what I'm reading in the month of September is this stack of books here. I'm going to start with the one that I actually just finished, because why not? I just finished it today. This was actually our book club book for August. We are doing the chat tomorrow morning. Today's Saturday, right? Tomorrow morning, Sunday. Can't wait to talk about it. It's There by Tommy Orange. And I liked this book a fair bit. You know, I really, really did. It's, to give you a lay of the land here, we are following 12 different, I believe it's 12 different characters. It's quite a few. Everybody has their own story, and we are basically, some of the characters get interconnected in their stories, and they're all going to this powwow that's happening in Oakland. And it's, I would say this book started so strong. The prologue in this book is so intense and had me so hooked. And then the first few stories I was in, you know, there's like this whole story with the first character, him finding this iPod on a bus, and the only music on it is MF Doom, and he just like connects with MF Doom. There's just a lot about, I was like, this is like, I'm connecting with this. I love this. And, I would say, though, the only thing for me, though, maybe just because I'm, like, dumb, as the stories went on and we got more and more characters coming in and the stories kept getting more and more connected, I did find myself getting a little bit confused towards the end on who is who and, like, what's what and what's exactly happening. However, very powerful book, very hard to pull off a book like this, and I think Tommy did an incredible job, and I would highly recommend it. There by Tommy Orange was my first read for September, and it was really, really good. This book is one that I'm almost done. Okay, let me tell you about this book. I love this book. This is great, okay? This is really good. This is called The Tiger by John Vaillant. This is a nonfiction book, The Tiger here, and I'm almost done. Where am I? I'm just coming up to part 3 here. I'm almost done, and this is the story of this team in Russia called Inspection Tiger. And basically there's this, a big part of this book is we're learning about this area in Far East Russia where, you know, we got winter and tropical animals and plants kind of living in harmony, because it's a unique spot where it gets really hot in the summers and really, really cold in the winters. So you've got like tigers and reindeer hanging out. It's really bizarre. But anyways, there's this killer tiger on the loose, and we're basically following Trush, who is the head of this inspection tiger unit, and he's got to like hunt down this man-eating tiger. And we're also learning about the victim, primarily of this one tiger attack that's so brutal. And we also learned a lot about tigers, which also super fascinating. This book is crazy good. I would highly recommend it. One of the best nonfiction books I've ever read, and I'm not even done yet. The Tiger by John Valent. It is so good. It is so, so good. So I'm going to finish that one up today or tomorrow. And next up, we'll go with maybe a boring one because this is one I've already read, but it's a reread that I'm going to be doing this month of my favorite book ever, best book I've ever read still, and that is Stoner by John Williams. I'm going to do a reread of this book in the month of September because in the next week or two, I want to do my top 10 books of all time, do that as a video for YouTube. And I just want to reread this one just to kind of make sure that it's still my favorite book of all time. You know, I tout that it's the best thing I've ever read constantly, but I feel like I feel like I got to do I should have at least read this book a few times before I really put that nail in the coffin or whatever. So that is going to be a reread for me for September. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I love this book. So I'm looking forward to that. And also that top 10 video will be out soon. My Stephen King book for the month of September is going to be this one. It's a chunkier one, but it's one that's been on my radar for quite some time, and I'm looking forward to finally tackling it. It is Needful Things. Everyone's heard of Needful Things. I actually don't really know a whole lot about it, to be honest, which is why I chose it. I'm going to read this really gross, super destroyed mass market paperback here. It is absolutely annihilated. The pages are so stiff. It's so like sunburnt, and I can't wait. So Needful Things is going to be my Stephen King book for the month of September. I've got 3 more here. Bear with me. Sorry. Next up, we have Ask the Dust. Ask the Dust. This is by John Fante, and this is the 80th anniversary edition. And this is an author that Charles Bukowski really loves. And I think from what if I'm remembering correctly, this book kind of like was not really on anybody's radar. It kind of just like came out and then disappeared, and no one really talked about it. No one really heard about it. But then Charles Bukowski kind of was like, no, this book is amazing, and kind of pumped it out. And people were like, wow, this book is amazing. I don't really know what it's about, to be honest with you. All I know is that the margins are crazy. There are so many words and so little space. But I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I am also going to be reading this book. Okay, this might be... If I didn't know how good The Tiger was going to be, I would maybe say that this was going to be my most anticipated book of the month, because I've got some buddies who have read it, and I've also seen some chatter online just about how incredible this, and I don't even really know what it's about, but how incredible this book is. The cover doesn't really speak to me, you know, it doesn't really scream, I'm an amazing book, but I think I like that. And it is The Prince of Tides by Pat Conroy. Has anybody read this? The Prince of Tides by Pat Conroy. I am so pumped. A modern American classic and a family saga that spans decades. This is the story of the volatile Tom Wingo, his brilliant but troubled twin sister Savannah, and the complex and damaging family legacy they share. I'm on board. You know what I mean? Does that not sound like right up my alley? It is. So I'm pumped. It's a chunkier one. We are looking at, I think, 700 pages. We're at 700 pages for this one. This, I think, will be my longest book of the year, of the month. But Prince of Tides, Pat Conroy. So pumped to get that in. My buddy Stu, this is like his favorite book of all time, and I trust that guy. So here we go. Finally, this is going to be our book club book for the month of September. I'm so excited. You might already know what it is. We are stepping into spooky season. I like horror. There's got to be a better name. Spooky season? Like blood and death season or something. I don't know. We got to work on that. But this is going to be our book for September. This is Dracula. I don't know if you heard of this one. This is by a guy named Bram Stoker. And yeah, this is going to be our book club book for September. I'm so pumped. I'm going to try and find a really cool copy of Dracula to have as a prize for some sort of trivia night that we'll host over on the book club. And I just can't wait to read it. There are a lot of free versions of this out on ebooks, and there's a lot of free audio versions. There's a lot. You can definitely find this at your library. So I'm happy about this one because I think this is one of the few that we've had as a book club book where everybody should be able to get a copy of it for free if they want to, which is cool. So Dracula, Bram Stoker, finally gonna be diving into that one. I can't wait. You know what I mean? Feels like I should have read that up by now, but I haven't. Speaking of stuff like that, I went to see Jaws, the 50th anniversary release of Jaws. And it was really good. I took my kids, they loved it. It was cool to see it in theaters. I love that movie so much. So that was really cool. We are back to school. Kids are back to school. Up here in Canada, they just went back to school last week. We start quite a bit later than the States, I think, at least a few weeks or so. I am already feeling like, wow, I have so much more time. So I am hoping that my reading piles get bigger and bigger until, again, we hit June and then everything falls apart. But looking forward to getting back into a bit more of a schedule. I love chaotic summer life where it's like, nothing really matters and you don't know what's going on, but I feel like the schedule life, I can already feel it like being good for me. So yeah, that's where we're at, although my allergies are brutal. So that's what's going on. Again, if you'd like to join the book club, I would so appreciate it. It's a really fun spot. I try to make it as worth it as possible. I try to post as much as I can. I'm active almost every single day in the Discord. So that is a thing. Please like and subscribe. And I'm sorry. And I love you. Okay, bye.